Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's time for our Facebook Live. I'm excited to be here with you guys today. And I'm just checking to make sure everything looks good, if I can find it on my iPad. So whether you're here live or if you're joining for the replay of the video, I appreciate you very much. I'm so glad that you're here. And I have a fun project for y'all today. Okay. Well, we will go ahead and get started. Be sure to say hi when you come in and let me know how you're doing today. We've already made it to Wednesday, y'all. And I wanted to do something bright and fun with you today. So I went back to our COVID-19, the PDF digital stamp set, Share Sunshine, and I found a fun sentiment that I wanted to use. And I thought it was really cute. It says, what a year this week has been. And I wanted some nice bright colors. So I was pretty happy with how it turned out. And I hope that you guys enjoy this card too. It's a little fancy fold. It's got this little arm that swings out so that you can open it. And then I also included some of the designer series paper on the inside, just to bring that design throughout the card. So let me know what you think. I thought it turned out pretty cute, and I just want to share sunshine, so I wanted to use some bright colors today. So this is the card we'll be making. Let me set this one aside, and I will go ahead and get the pieces out. I have everything already cut for us to make it a little bit easier. I don't want to keep you guys all day. So we are starting with a Pool Party card base, Pool Party cardstock, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So let me use my bone folder to get a nice crisp fold there. And then we have a couple layers of basic black. And I just went 1/4 inch smaller, so one will be the inside, one will be for the outside. So these are cut at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And then for the inside, we have a piece of Whisper White that's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And then that's the same size as our designer series paper, 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Then this little strip is actually just a scrap piece, and it's 3 3/4 by 1/2 inch. Our sentiment, which I cut it using the stitched, the rectangle stitched dies. This is a really handy set to have. As you can see, some of them are really, really big, but then you've got some smaller rectangles that are great for sentiment pieces, like this one today. And then this last piece is the part that forms the arm, and it is 4 1/2 by 1 1/2 inch. And then this may not show up on camera, but it is scored at 1 inch and 1 1/8 inch. And what that does, let me show you the side of the card. It kind of helps to bring that around the front of the card and let it lay better on your card front. So like I said, I used that PDF download, that digital stamp set, Share Sunshine. And I told you last week, I went ahead and printed the entire PDF, which it is 15 pages of images and sentiments. And I went ahead and printed it, and then that way I can use my dies or my punches to get the sentiment that I want. So that's where I got that from. And then the designer series paper that I chose, like I said, I wanted something bright, so I went and looked in my stash, And this is the Dino Roar Designer Series paper. And it is in our current annual catalog, and it's retiring, and it makes me sad. And I'm pretty sure it's on discount right now too. So this is super cute, especially if you have kiddos. This has been really, really popular. And it's just bright and fun. Graphic images, and then the dinosaurs, of course. And I wanted to remind you that on the back of your Designer Series paper package is all of the colors that are included in the Designer Series paper. So the reason I think that's so important is because it lets you know what you can draw from. So when I was deciding that this was the paper I would use, how I came up with a pool party card base was just looked at what colors of cardstock I could coordinate with it. So that's one of the things I love about Stampin' Up! Is the coordination of the paper and the cardstock and the ink and the embellishments and the ribbon. So it just makes it so much faster and easier to design your projects when you use all the things that coordinate like that. Okay, I think we are ready to get going here. Let's go ahead and do the outside first. So we'll use one of our basic black pieces and just layer on the Designer Series paper. A little bit of liquid glue. Y'all know that that's kind of my adhesive of choice because I don't always get things exactly where I want them the first time. So it helps me to have a little bit of time to get it where I want it. And it takes just a little bit for it to dry, but not too long. And I know I've told you before, but using less of this is better. And I have kind of gone to this tip that I saw from another demonstrator using the little dots in the corners. I seem to get less on my fingers when I do that. So now Basic Black is not in this Designer Series paper, but it's a neutral. And so I felt like by using that as our matte, it really helped the colors to pop even more. So that's why I went with that. And then next we will put the inside pieces on. And this is just kind of a fun way to use your scraps. So I generally don't do a lot of decorating or stamping on the inside of my cards, but I know a lot of you do. And that just, I seem to write, I guess I write big and I write a big message. So I don't generally put a lot of decoration on the inside, but you certainly can. And this is a great way to use up those little bits and scraps that you have. And again, this week I just chose, now I'm doing exactly opposite of what I told you. It's the old way I used to do the glue all the time. And I really use too much when I do that. But once again, I have a super simple card for you. I just want to spend a few minutes crafting and connecting with y'all each Wednesday. So I really appreciate you joining me. Okay, before we put that on the inside, this is where we're going to go ahead and bring that arm in. And what I do is adhere it to the back of this piece, like this, so that it just looks better on the back. You could bring it to the back of the card base, but it just is a little bit neater, I think, by doing it this way. So I just want a little bit of glue, just a light layer of glue back here. And I do want to use plenty because this is going to be moving. See the best way to do this. I think I'll bring it this way and then flip it over. And I'm just bringing it to that 1-inch score line, kind of making sure that it is lined up there. And just a reminder, if you have any questions or comments, I will go back and look at those when the video is over. Give that just a second to dry. Okay. And then we can bring that to the inside of our card. And I'll put a little extra there. And again, just kind of get that where I want it. Let me know what you think of this color combo. I love the Pool Party in the black. I haven't used Pool Party in a while. Okay, so we're almost done, y'all. I'm going to take, I can find my bone folder. There it is. I'm going to take my bone folder and just kind of reinforce that crease a little bit to get that to lay down. I think I may be done with my liquid glue, so let me close it up. So for my sentiment, what I did was went ahead and added some dimensionals to the back just to lift that a little bit. One more, and I forgot to get out my take your pick tool, so we'll just pull these off. I like using the take your pick tool, the piercing end, because then it keeps all of those backs together and I don't find them all over the house as much. So we're just going to kind of get this centered. Let me see if I can do that. And I didn't leave much of a border on the left, but that's okay. So we're almost done, you guys. Now, when I was thinking about trying to embellish this a little bit, I like the idea of the little triangles, and I didn't look super hard, but I didn't see a punch or die that had a little triangle like that. So I just took a 1/2 inch piece of cardstock and my snips, and I just went in at an angle and made those little triangles. So that's how I did it. If you have a punch at home that you can use, that would be fine too. And I'm using glue dots to add those to the card. And I just kind of came in, whoops, I think I want to go this way with it. And brought that towards the sentiment, just to give it a little bit more accent. I just felt like it needed a little something. And this was fun. It mimicked the pattern of the Designer Series paper, so I don't have those very straight. Let's try that again. The nice thing about adhesive is until you actually press it down, you can kind of move it a little bit. I think that's pretty good. I could probably move back. But we're going to go with it, you guys. Okay, so we have our card all complete. See how easy that was? I'll bring my other one back in. They look pretty similar. And we're going to do one more little thing. And again, this is not something that I do a lot, but I thought it would be fun because I had this strip left over of the Designer Series paper, and we can actually decorate the envelope with that. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here. Just a thin bead of glue. And then bring that up here and just line it up. I think this strip is about an inch, 1.25 inches wide. I thought it was perfect for this actually. And then about 6.5 inches long. So you can see that just a little bit is showing through the back there. And we're going to come in and just snip that off on each side. So that just kind of gives a little sneak peek of what's inside. So who would not want to go to the mailbox and get a cute little card out? I think it would make anybody happy. And that's part of what we love about our hobby, isn't it? Making people happy and creating for others. So I hope you enjoyed the card today, the project today. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this fairly simple and stuff that you can recreate at home with supplies that you already have. Just want to spend some time each week crafting with you a little bit. And I did want to remind you before I go, let me move those out of the way. I wanted to remind you that I do have a customer appreciation special this month. And for any customer that places an order of $40 or more with me, I have a free class, and it's using our Share Sunshine digital stamp set. So if you want to recreate the projects exactly like mine, you would want to go ahead and purchase that digital stamp set. It's just $12, and all of the proceeds go to the charities. And there's two different charities that you can choose from. You can either give 50-50 when you check out, or choose the one that you want the entire $12 to go to. And the last I heard, we have raised about $160,000, you guys, for helping to fight COVID-19. So I'm really, really excited about that. So this is the first card that's in that free class in my customer appreciation. And this is card number 2. So you will receive the supplies to create the cardstock, the twine or ribbon, the designer series paper, and then even the pieces that the sentiment go on. So if you don't have the download, you could still create and just use something that you have in your stash. So I thought these turned out super cute. And then last week, we made this card on our Facebook Live, and while you don't receive the supplies to make the card, I did include the measurements as a bonus in the PDF. So just wanted to remind you that I have that available. I do have a host code associated with this offer, and I will list it in the description of this video, and then also the link to purchase that PDF. So let me know if you have any questions. I hope you have an awesome day. And again, I appreciate you being with me today. Have a great rest of your week.